Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where it's time for another last week in Warhammer. So with this video we're taking a look at everything else that's come out from WarCom from Monday the 3rd of Feb right the way through to Friday the 7th of Feb. And as always, we're going to start with the Rumour Engine. So this is the Rumour Engine, 4th of February, and it's a cattle prod, right? That's a 41st Millennium cattle prod. It's not a salad tongs. It's a cattle prod. To me, this can only be one thing. Obviously, it's 40k. Well, no, because it could be 30k as well, couldn't it? It could also be Necromunda, but it's the sci-fi setting, the future sci-fi setting. I think it's Admech. I don't think it's Knights. Obviously, there's no scale to this, but just looking at how it's put together, it doesn't feel like it's a big... I mean, it could be something for a Sentinel, couldn't it? Maybe we should read the article. So they're saying Rumour Engine Acolyte, so it's acolytes, it's gruel, they're talking about food themed, talking about salad tongs and things. It's not. It obviously is a pair of tongs. It's acolytes. I mean, it could even be another one of the servitors that they had in the kill team, the Inquisition kill team that came with the variety of heavy weapons. Could maybe be something like that, but I think it's Admech. We've had the Admech Codex, so is this actually pointing towards Dark Mech? That would be cool. I'd really like some Dark Mech. I'd love for Vashdor to get some units to build around that he can really buff. That'd be really nice. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. And it wouldn't be a Thursday without a Heresy update. So Heresy Thursday this week is some more Mechanicum. They've really been pushing the Mechanicum stuff. Expanding the range. This week's no different. We're getting the Mechanicum Heavy Support. With a tank with a guy strapped into it. This is the Krios battle tank. Yeah, it does nothing for me. It just looks like a guy's rolling around with a giant penis, if I'm honest. That's just how much. And then even girthier one right there. I don't get the Mechanicum. I don't understand it. As a model, then I can't complain about the model. It's a very nice looking model. But let me know what you think. So we have the Krios tank there, and then the Krios Venator, which we have there. You can have an Irradiation Blaster or a Pulsar Fusel. All of them sound deadly, I will be honest. There was also the Karaknos Assault Tank. Now, I like the look of this. This is more my kind of style. If I was going to do a Admech, I would be using one of these. There's just something about racks of missile launchers ready to just rain death on enemies. You can obviously slam into buildings and enemy units with such an aggressively shaped battering ram as well. And then, you know, more guns on the sides, because there's always got to be sponson weapons. That's just how we roll in the 31st and 41st Millenniums. It's a nice profile. It is a very nice profile. I really like that tank. And it looks like... I'm not for a second thinking that that is a moving part, but it looks like you can tuck those away as well. Very, very cool. And they are coming in their own fancy little box. So this is the Mechanicum Heavy Support Force box. The first place where you'll be able to buy all 3 miniatures. The third being the Siege Automata that we saw a couple of weeks back. How do I feel about them boxing stuff like this? No, I don't like it. Especially when the rules have been out there for so long. Just release them individually. You don't need to put everything in an army box. It doesn't... I don't think it's a good business model. It obviously works for them because people buy it. I don't think it's a good business model personally, and I don't think it's consumer friendly. But I'm sure that that box will be up for pre-order soon, and then they will very, very quickly be released on their own if you don't want all of the items in there. But keep an eye out for the Mechanicum Heavy Support Force if you're looking to add your Horus Heresy Admech, be them Dark or Loyalist. They will be coming very soon, TM. And now over to the Old World with a little preview of the High Elves. This is the Old World Almanac. The Merworm returns from the depths. This is a really nice looking model actually. But I think that this is a returning model, because I've seen similar things to this in Fantasy. But it is a Merworm for the High Elf realms. Because they're teasing it now, and we don't actually have a date for the High Elves, this has got to be pointing towards the High Elves. We're certainly going up for pre-order in February, right? Maybe next weekend is going to be High Elves? But it's a very nice model. I love the detailing. I really love the paint scheme as well. It's really cool. And then you can see it there in the... Is it got two heads? No, its head is just split like a... Oh, what are those fish that have the... Yeah. It's well done. It's a well-designed model. Obviously the High Elves this time, they were pointing towards Corsairs, sailors, that kind of thing, pirates. So this fits in with that coastal theme. And it's just a genuinely nice model, I think. So it has an abyssal cloak and enfeebling cold. There's a couple of rules there I'm not going to go through because I don't understand Old World. Yes, you can run it with the Lothern Sea Guard. And it does say High Elves will be making a landfall in the Old World very soon. So I think that they're going to be Sunday's preview, actually. Which will be cool, because there's one certain High Elf model that I'm really interested to know if it comes back, even on a short basis. A model that I absolutely loved, and I haven't looked on eBay for a while actually, but maybe it's available. But there's one model that I always wanted and I never bought. It's an old metal model, but I just love the lore of the character. So we'll see, and if that comes up, I will obviously let you know. Doesn't mean I'm getting into the Old World though. Yeah, let me know what you think of the Merworm. It's a sea dragon, isn't it? It's a cool sea dragon. It doesn't actually state... Yes, it does. Forge World resin. We all knew it was going to be Forge World resin. Certainly that size for Old World, but there we go. Just confirmation. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And I feel like we haven't done one of these for a while. It's time for a little preview of White Dwarf 509. So this was in last week's Sunday preview, and it's focusing on taking knights, both Imperial and Chaos, into combat patrol, and forge heroes with the Anvil of Apotheosis. I don't remember them saying anything about that. So we have knights in combat patrol, second part of the car show, I think that was the Orcs, 40k Orcs car show, Deathcore of Krieg, and new heroes are forged upon the Anvil of Apotheosis. I'm gonna have to pick this up now, because I'm interested to see what they say about creating your own heroes. You can do it in the new Path to Glory book. Yeah, okay. I mean, they keep dragging me in, don't they? Just when you thought you were out. I may have to pick this up. It's the AOS stuff that... AOS and Kill Team are really the only reasons why I buy White Dwarf. So, Knights, we know about Knights. There's painting tips for Krieg, which will be invaluable for all the new Imperial Guard commanders who have joined the ranks recently. And then creating heroes and going through... I mean, that's... What is... Return to the Anvil of Apotheosis rules found in the battle tomes to make awesome narrative characters by taking 5 converted miniatures and giving them new life across the battlefield. Okay, so they're also converted miniatures. Yes, I love this. I love when White Dwarf go in and see, the staff on White Dwarf or the wider GW, and they say, show us your kit bashes, let's make a hero. I love stuff like that. I love actually seeing what other people do. Instead of it just being the generic models, I love it when they drop kit bashes and conversions and head swaps and things in. I know they don't like doing it because that's not models that they sell, but still, it just makes the hobby side of my brain very happy. And the fact that they do that with the Path to Glory book, and we will go over that, I promise. But they actually have pictures of people's models. Not telling you how to do the conversions, it is just, here's a picture of a kit bash commander. And I love it. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, actually White Dwarf has saved itself purely with that, and that's something that I might be interested in going over on the channel actually, just from my point of view. Certainly anything to do with AOS Path to Glory campaigns, because that's right up my street. But yeah, I mean, White Dwarf I think is a bit of a tough one, because you either get it and you enjoy it, or you just don't bother with it. I feel like that's how it's viewed. But let me know in the comments if there's anything in this issue of White Dwarf that piques your interest, and if you'll be picking it up. So this is a new thing that I think we're going to start to do, and they're going to be very quick because we do touch on these on the Sunday preview. But how about we actually take a look at what has dropped on Warhammer Plus this week? We have 3 new shows and a Black Library competition. The new shows we've talked about, one of them, they're not actually new. They're new episodes of shows. 3 new shows isn't correct. But we have Deep Strike, which is talking to a couple of the developers from Bolt Gun, the guys over at Auroch Digital, sorry. Just talking about the development, licensing, and how they brought the characters to life, which is cool. I love stuff like that, especially when it's video game based. We also have Questing Knights, which currently is following 4 players and a DM going through the Blackstone Fortress. This is episode 3, and I've been enjoying these so far. They're only about 35-40 minutes long, but they are giving you the real highlights of it. I'd love to see a long play instead of a heavily cut down way that they do it, but if I ever pick up a Blackstone Fortress, and I would like to, if I ever pick it up, I think we'd do a long play and you can actually see the entire conversations and dice rolls and scenarios. But they do it well, and it's a nice showcase to give you an idea of how the game plays, which is always fun, and using their models, which is probably one of the best ways to present it, because they're so wonderfully painted. They're also saying it's the final episode. Oh, okay, that's a shame. But it's the final episode of Questing Knights, so that series, if you have Warhammer Plus, is worth watching, and all of it is available now. Painting Desk has Heavy Metal Painter Tom, who is going through some Aeldari and Cities of Sigmar miniatures that he's worked on for White Dwarf challenges. And the Black Library competition. If you are subscribed to Warhammer Plus, you're already entered in this. If not, and you're thinking about subscribing to Warhammer Plus, you have until the 20th of February, and then you'll be entered into the Black Library competition, where you could win 33 books, including such titles as The Infinite and the Divine, Brutal Cunning, The Lion Son of the Forest, one of my favourite Black Library books. Just an incredible book. Fall of Cadia, the Arachnaut's Oath, which I believe is Sigmar, the Hollow King, which is Sigmar, again, really solid book. Kado is just a fascinating character, and it really gives you an idea of what being in the different worlds and realms of Sigmar actually means. It's really, really cool. Horus Rising and the Solar War, plus miniature kits like Captain Mesninius? Got no idea who that guy is. Lionel Johnson, who isn't a Black Library model, but the book came out with the character, but the book came out with a model, so it kind of makes sense. And that's a stunning kit as well. Kado is available, and they have a picture of Eisenhorn there, and obviously the Eisenhorn Omnibus. So I'm assuming that they're included, otherwise why would you picture them there? But that's an option, and as it says, if you were already a subscriber, you're automatically entered. I feel like this section, these videos, are going to become a lot more common in this Last Week in Warhammer format, because we have more licensed stuff with new Joytoy, and it's focused solely on the Alpha Legion and the Horus Heresy timeline, I guess. So expanding that out, you've got Alfarius or Omegon, whichever one you want to. It's Alfarius, right? It's going to be sold as Alfarius. You've also got, I mean, they do look good, don't they? He does look very good. They've really captured the colour scheme of I like that plasma pistol as well. That is a plasma, yeah, that is a plasma. He's quite nice. And just a generic soldier, I think. Yeah, and a stealthed up soldier with a shotgun. I mean, that's a good looking shotgun. They are nice looking models. I'd never pick them up, but they are very nice looking models. I love that helmet. The Alpha Legion stuff is really cool. Buys into that Greco style. I do love. Have you ever wanted an Alpha Legion Contemptor Dreadnought? Yeah. Because that's an option right now. That different arms as well, or does it just come with the plasma? I think it just comes with the plasma. Does it say? Yeah, it just comes with the plasma, which is a shame. You thought that would be interchangeable, but obviously not. And all of that is available to pre-order now from the Warhammer merch store. And if you pre-order Alfarius, much like they did with the previous ones we looked at, you get an exclusive free t-shirt while stocks last. So if you're interested in expanding your Joytoy collection, there's more for you there. And another quick little update, this time with Space Marine 2, as we get another patch. This is the Data Vault update. I've kind of been losing interest from my point of view. I've kind of been losing interest with Space Marine 2. I only really play the PvE stuff. I'm not that bothered on the PvP side. It just doesn't interest me. And adding a new enemy into operations doesn't really interest me. I'm holding out for Horde mode, which has been sadly pushed back. But Data Vault brings us a new PvP map, brings us a new enemy, which is the Tyrannid Biovore, and I believe it adds data vaults as well. New cosmetics is always nice. So you see here, this is the new map and the new cosmetics. We have the Salamander's Champion Pack. I mean, just beautiful. This is for the Eliminator class. It is just very pretty, and a very pretty sniper rifle. Sadly, it's crap, but at least it can look good while you're running around with it. And there you go, there's an in-game shot. And there's also the Raven Guard cosmetic pack with a beaky helmet. And the Tyrannid Biovore also arrives. We saw this guy at the Game Awards, it was a quick tease there. And yeah, just fancy new stuff. There's a few more pictures there of the PvP map, and well, it's all PvP, isn't it? Beautiful looking map, really nice looking map. So the update is available right now for everybody with the game. It is a free update, and the free bits are the Data Vault, the Tomb Arena, the Biovore, and the Absolute difficulty, whereas you will have to purchase the cosmetics unless you have the Season Pass, in which case the Raven Guard and Salamander cosmetics are included if you want them. And next up we have a quick look at Black Library Classics featuring the Aeldari, or the Eldar to people as old as me. So Codex Eldar is currently up for pre-order. I think it's out this weekend. It might be next weekend, I'm not entirely sure, I can't remember. There's so much that comes out. But like we did with the Gloomspite Gates, this is just a very quick look at options of extra reading, let's say. So Gav Thorpe, Path of the Eldar, which includes Path of the Warrior, Path of the Seer, and Path of the Outcast. A lot of these are Gav Thorpe actually. Asserman with his beautiful new model. I think it's Janzar, the Storm of Silence. I don't know how to pronounce that. The Howling Banshee, yes? I don't know. I don't know anything about that model. But that's another option that they're giving you. Veildor, is that about Craftworld Eandon? Yeah. That's probably the one that interests me the most, because they're just a bunch of pirates, aren't they? And who doesn't love a space pirate? Eldar or not? Space elves, not ideal, but space elf pirates, infinitely cooler. We've also got Ghost Warrior and Wild Rider, which is all about the rise of the Ynnari, which I think was 7th edition. They're both by Gav. Does Gav Thorpe just exclusively write Eldar? Is that what's going on here? And then some Harlequins books as well. So they are The Victim's Dance by Ben Counter, The Mask of Vile by Andy Chambers, and Faces from Matthew Farah. Not authors I've heard of, but if you're into your space elf clowns, then you're well covered there. So yeah, that's sort of it. If you are wanting Games Workshop's picks of expanded reading, take a look at some of those. And our final piece for today is an admission that I probably misunderstood something when we read the preview article on Sunday. It's not a look at a new Aeldari model or a reveal of any kind. It is just the Warhammer community team and their friends painting the new Aeldari. We'll have a quick run through because I did mess this up, but we've got, yeah, just space elves, all painted in unit colours, and that's Fuegan, isn't it? Very nice. Who's painted that? Daz isn't a member from WarCom. He's a part of the design studio, so he works on new miniatures. That's very well done. Yeah, very, very nice. Beautiful paint job. I mean, that axe looks gorgeous. Just more space elves. You can tell I'm not as enthusiastic about these not being new miniatures. A Crimson Hunter, and some bikes, and some Striking Scorpions. The only thing that I will point out in this article is they say here, Jamie's Striking Scorpions lurk amidst the trees waiting for a chance to strike. 2 stars? Or perhaps waiting for their Phoenix Lord to return. Does that mean that the Predator guy is going to show up? Probably not, who knows. But I thought that was quite a funny middle finger to the Space Elves. So that's why it's included. But let me know what you think of all of the articles we covered today in the comments. Anything stand out for you? Any of the new models that were shown off of interest? As always, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you all in the next Last Week in Warhammer. bye.